I've been playing a lot of Arc Raiders, and I've had a pretty persistent opinion popping up that PvP is pointless. Don't shoot. Like 90% of my experience is just everyone is fun and friendly and helpful and informative and generous all the time. And that makes me play as a generous, friendly person as well. I personally don't play games in ways that the game does not reward you for playing. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm gonna flash a graphic right here. I would say the game is divided into systems, mechanics, and rewards. These are kind of arbitrary terms. You could pedant me here and say this is incorrect, and this is also a gross generalization, but let's move on. Move on. Systems support the mechanics, and the mechanics give you rewards, which are generally enjoyment plus some kind of thing to continue the enjoyment. Like in this game, that's loot. So you get fun plus loot. The systems in this game really overwhelmingly only support you participating in friendly mechanics. The friendly mechanics, or at least neutral, would be scavenging, PvP, or PvEing. Those are the two, like, friendly to neutral, depending on how you're engaging with them. And you have a litany of systems that support you engaging with them. The trial system in this game, which is like almost this game's ranked mode. It's like its competitive ranked mode. Competitive. The trials are exclusively PvE based. And sometimes environmental interaction based. Not only is that like a system that supports you not PvPing and engaging with the environmental and looting aspects of the game, but it further encourages you to do the opposite of PvP and play cooperatively, because you have to like extract when you're doing these, and a lot of these are, like I said, killing environmental enemies, which you get credit for if you did any damage to that enemy when it dies. So many people can get points towards their trial succession, which you get loot rewards for. Will give you, I've gotten blueprints, epic tier guns, legendary tier attachments. There's all sorts that you get from these things. That was a trials run, and you know what I think we got? I think we got the full trial. I think we did it. I think we started up. We started up. What is that we got? They're very worth doing. Then there's the quests in the game, which the rewards for the quests are minor, but so far the rewards for the objectives of the quests have also entirely been scavenging or searching and destroying like NPCs. There are also map events. The map events either support PvE or scavenging. Those are the only two things the map events support. Because the map events will either be a large group of Arc, which are the environmental enemies, appearing around a high loot area where it is near impossible, without like god tier sneaking, for you to get that loot and not die without engaging in cooperation and socializing. To me, the only system that is supporting PvP is the fact that there is equipment in the game that is explicitly explicitly designed for PvP. And I would say this is all light guns. The light damage guns are worthless against the Ark. They're worthless. There is no reason to use any of the light guns in the game against Ark. They are awful. There's like literally no reason to run light guns in this game against Ark. So the mere existence of the light guns and the way the game is balanced supports the existence of PvP. And if you decide you want to engage with light guns as a system, then the only way you can be rewarded for doing that is engaging in PvP. There is also other things that straight up say in their descriptions that they're ineffective or straight up, so they either do 0 damage or low damage, like the shrapnel grenade, which reads ineffective against Ark armor, or the gas grenade or gas trip mine, which read ineffective, or like don't even do damage to Ark because they're robots. So there are weapon systems that only support PvP. Outside of that, there are no systems in this game, to me, that support PvP. So, you are rewarded with loot and fun for searching for loot, for PvEing for loot, and for PvPing in loot. And this is where the friendship is magic. Friendship is segment rotates in. But socializing is something that kind of exists in any online game. This is an online game, so there are social elements to it, which is further enhanced by proximity voice chat, but it's a system that supports other modes of play. You can't really socialize and PvP, mostly because once you die, you're out of a match. So, to me, there is very unlikely scenarios where socializing can cross over into PvP at all. And if anything, socializing shields you from PvP, because time to kill in this game is super low, and as long as you have any level of like aiming competence, you plus another person are gonna beat another player, I'd say like 9 times out of 10. That a player is 1v2ing you, outside of you're both terrible or that player is a god. But it can happen. Anyways, I'm getting off track. The socializing aids you in searching because through social aspects in the game, you can share loot you don't need with other players, who will in turn give you loot they don't need that you might need. And this happens all the time. Get on the train, we don't have much time left. Huh? I mean, I don't super need one, but if you want to just give it to me, okay.
Yeah, go for it. I don't need it anymore.
Thanks. I was just Bastion hunting myself, so...
Oh, you get it.
Yeah, I killed a Bastion. Nice. Socializing can also help players share information about Preem scavenging locations. And how some of the scavenging puzzles work. This has happened every single time I've encountered a scavenging puzzle. Like in Bluegate, very recently I was playing, and I didn't know how this locked door with a battery panel worked.
Oh yeah, is right here. You'll find 3 cells on a wall somewhere. Bring them over here and just kill them.
Okay, so maybe follow the red line, or is that unrelated?
No, it's unrelated to the cells.
Okay.
Repeat, 10 minutes.
Huh.
Now, be careful when you're looting this room. Like, everyone come in here and shut the door, because this is like...
Socializing is just peak for rewarding you as a player with the reward structures of fun plus loot. And when you're looking at socializing as a system that rewards PvE, like I said, there are environmental events that are almost impossible to complete, if not totally impossible to complete solo, bar some extreme scenarios. Or on Spaceport, there's often this event where there's a bunch, like a super high spawn rate of bots guarding the top of the Spaceport launch tower, and without any communication or any friction ever, anytime this event is happening, I just run straight to the Spaceport, and there's already like 6 people there who's like, let's go boys, let's go kill some Ark, and then we all go up there, and then we just like divvy up the loot based on need. People will be like, I already have a lot of pink guns, anyone not have any pink guns? Or I already have this blueprint, anyone not have this blueprint who really needs it? And everyone's just like, yeah, okay, I'll take this, you take that. It's just total peace, total natural socialization, and everyone gets rewarded by having access to loot that you'd never have access to had you tried to stick it alone. I'd say all of the Ark enemies in this game, assuming you have sufficient ammunition and don't have a light gun. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say you can kill any Ark in this game with sufficient ammunition plus sufficient ammunition typing or weapon typing. Assuming you have environmental obstructions to avoid damage. You're still alive? So that's kind of how all of these things incentivize the non-PvE elements. Now, there are no trials, there are no quests, and there are no events that directly incentivize PvPing. So we have to ask ourselves, like, we PvP because we have fun PvPing. We PvP for loot. So we have to ask ourselves at the end of the day, why does it seem like a lot of people aren't PvPing? Well, PvPing is riskier than socializing. If you die PvPing, which there's a high likelihood you could die, especially if you don't get the drop on people. Hell, I'm bad at games, and I've taken down about 1/3 of the people that have tried to PvP me at this point. Hey! I'm pretty sure the Bastion killed the guy that shot at me. Because that body I found over by the Bastion, looked like a rat kit. It was a free build. It was a free kit. 1/3. I mean, the odds are still in your favor. I suck. But there's still like a 30% chance you get got by this loser. And if you get got by this loser, you lost your stuff. So that seems to be something that's pretty known by the people that PvP. So to mitigate this, PvPers have created their own meta so far, from what I've experienced. What PvPers normally do is they take free loadouts to mitigate the risk of failure. Because if you lose your free loadout, who cares? It was a free loadout. On top of that, the reward for a successful PvP, you might have a lot of fun. You might just... the fun bubble could be huge. And you might not even really care. But the loot bubble is actually really small for PvP. Assuming a successful PvP, you search their body, and they're probably going to have close to nothing. And I can say this because every single time I've been PvP'd and killed, I have trash on me. Like metal parts, rubber, fabric. Like, not useless things, but not things that you would feel good for having engaged in high-risk behavior for. Yeah, like your physical game reward for successfully PvPing, especially with my experience, the most common one, the free build, is you're able to take like 20 pounds of equipment off of a body, which means you're going to be able to PvP and take the equipment of one player. You could have found weapon parts and mechanical components in droves anywhere else, or gotten them out of the bodies of Ark and not had to engage in the same level of risk. No matter how you spin it, the loot bubble for engaging in PvP is just minuscule. Even if you get lucky and kill someone with high value loot, you can take a small amount of that high value loot, and then you have to immediately skedaddle and stop engaging in the fun part for you, which is the PvP. So, you either have to be engaging in PvP purely because of the fun, or have to be engaging in PvP in hyper-specific ways to increase the likelihood that the loot part is bigger. And those only ways would be not taking free loadouts so you can carry more things, which increases risk on you. Camping card doors or very high loot areas. Camping extraction points. And camping extraction points out of those three, to me, has been the most common. And most people that camp extraction points are also free loot players too. And what they're doing is they're just killing someone, trying to kill someone in extraction anyways. Because this is another thing. In my experience, the friendliness coefficient goes up the closer to extraction you get. So most of the time when I'm going to do extraction, even if it was a map where I've been seeing PvPs happen left and right, the moment multiple players who know that their inventory is already maxed out walk up to extraction, everyone's just like, trying to leave? Yeah, trying to leave. Friendly? Friendly. Yeah, let's get out of here, brother. And that's the extraction every time. And if there's a rat at extraction, well, buddy, we're about to pull out the gas. This guy who looks like he died at the thing, he's got an Osprey blueprint. I already have that in case either y'all need it.
I would like to have that. If you don't need it.
I definitely don't. He doesn't really have... honestly, players never have anything worth having on their body normally.
Dude, that's a shitty place to die, too.
I swear I was running...
Knocked him out. Someone, someone knocked him out.
But nobody, idiot. None of it.
No, not one piece of his loot is missing. I think he got by Ark. Not one piece of his loot is missing.
That's a shitty spot to die, dude.
Yeah, like he probably bled out trying to crawl down.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
Yeah, you can have that blueprint. Get it. They're good.
I was gonna take a basic supplies off his body, but you guys can have anything rare. I don't need anything really. Anything. Oh, hey! Don't shoot at us! Oh,
Is somebody shooting at you?
someone shot at him.
Should we go fuck them?
I mean,
I think that deserves a fuck up.
I kind of do too. That's some rat behavior right there. There's 3 of us here. I have experienced multiple moments where there is a rat at extraction. They like down 1 player and then realize there's 3 more players who are trying to extract. They get their shit kicked in, killed, and then the down player gets revived. A little rambly, but my point is, I don't see the gameplay incentives. This is the TLDR. I don't see the gameplay incentives for engaging with PvP. Because it's riskier, the reward is lower, and the gameplay loop is smaller. Because if you do get kills, you have to leave with your to secure your loot sooner. On top of that, it's an anti-social gameplay loop. For people that choose to socialize, the harder PvP becomes for the PvPers. And now, perhaps that challenge, that difficulty, is part of what makes your fun balloon swell. But I'm not talking about your penis. Although, perhaps that challenge is mostly what makes your fun balloon swell. However, in my experience, I can't believe that that would be true, because if you were looking for a raw experience and you're trying to overcome the odds, I don't think you'd be running a free kit when you PvP. I think you'd be trying to do something creative, something daring. And we see that in some very entertaining content here on YouTube. I've seen people create elaborate mine traps using barricades to corner players into dangerous spots, and then 1v3. These are interesting. And I totally get why, if you're that kind of person, why you're engaging with PvP. It's a challenge, and the reward can be great, because in that scenario, because you're obviously going to be running not a free loadout, so you might be able to take all 3 players' most valuable loot and then skedaddle, and you had that adrenaline rush of 1v3ing. But to not let this go on much further, that's mostly why I think everyone is taking the stance of don't shoot. And why I'm also continually taking the stance of don't shoot. Because the more I don't shoot, the fatter my pockets get. Also, the more friends I make. I have already accrued like 8 new Steam friends just fucking around in this game, making sure that I help anyone that needs help. I'll fucking play it out by putting, I guess, a little highlight of someone I encountered that I saved 3 times consecutively during a spaceport mission. It was so funny and so entertaining. But anyways, you guys have fun raiding, and make a friend out there. I'm coming! Did the other guy not fall down here? Was that in my head?
Nah, I got the one that fell. Oh, I had to defend myself.
He died?
He's dead up there, yeah. He shot at me. I had nothing to do.
Yeah, I saw him shoot at us. I fell down the ladder.
Logan!
I'm coming. This is my last one.
You're a legend. This is the guy that shot at me. Oh, he's probably had a free hit. Yep.
They always do. They always do.